Hello, good morning students and welcome back. Today we will see chapter number 10 from history, that is India after independence. So the making of national movement, that is chapter number 9 and this is chapter number 10 according to the new edition. So let's see the topic. Yesterday only India celebrated its 72nd Republic Day. So wishing Happy Republic Day to all of you. Now let's see the topic. A new and divided nation. After independence, that is 1947, India faced a series of great challenges, lot of challenges. The problems of refugees. Now what is the meaning of refugee? Refugee means a person who has been forced to leave his nation or country due to in order to escape either from war or from any natural disaster. That is, he is forced to leave his country and seeking protection somewhere else. So that is, they are called as the refugees, and the princely states had to be addressed immediately. So 572 princely states were there at the time of the independence. So Sardar Patel, he played a very important role in uniting these princely states at the time of independence. The new nation had to adopt a political system that would be best to serve all the hopes. Earlier we have been ruling by the British. Now all of a sudden new nation, and it has to be, or I can say, politically managed very well. That was a new challenge. Refugees was a big challenge. Managing the 572 princely states, it was a new challenge. What else? The new nation had to adopt a political system that would best serve the hopes and expectation of the population. Then, India's population in 1947 was large and divided. So, population was big problem. Then, division between high caste and the low caste, between majority Hindu community and the Indians who practiced other faiths were also to be seen. So along with the caste system in Hinduism, and along with that the Hinduism plus the other religion. So all these were a big problem at the time of India's independence. That was all the new challenges. The new nation had to lift masses means people, out of poverty by increasing the productivity of agriculture and by promoting new job creating industries. It was also a big problem for the nation that the population was increasing like anything, and now the challenge before the nation is to feed the people or the nation. And for that purpose you have to concentrate more on increasing the agricultural productivity plus job uncertainty, or you can say creating employment opportunities, and it is possible only when the new industry is well set up. If these causes were not settled, unity and development could not be achieved. So all these things were a big challenge in front of the newly independent nation, India, in 1947. Now let's see. The next slide says, a constitution is written. Now we are coming back to our constitution. It was framed by the committee, with the committee leading by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The Constituent Assembly held meetings in New Delhi, which representatives from all parts of India attended. So Constituent Assembly, so wherein the meeting of all the members, the representatives, okay, and from all parts of India they attended. These discussions resulted in the framing of Indian Constitution, which came into effect on 26 January 1950. So that's what I said, Happy Republic Day to all of you, 72 years back. Universal adult franchise was adopted, you know very well. All Indians above the age of 21 were allowed to vote in state and national elections. So note down at the time of independence, the right to vote was given to about 21. Now it is 18. Equality before the law was granted to all citizens regardless of their caste or religious affiliation. Special privileges were offered for the poorest and the most disadvantaged Indians. So all these things were given to them. The practice of untouchability was abolished and the Hindu temples were thrown open to the people of all castes. So the Constitution, Article 17, says that untouchability is now abolished, and if anybody practices it is a punishable crime. Along with the former untouchables, pehle wala, the Adivasis or scheduled tribes were also granted reservation in seats, okay, not seats, seats and jobs. First apne full stop, okay. The constitution sought to strike a balance of power between the center and the state by providing 3 lists of subjects, that is union list, state list and concurrent list. So there are 3 lists: union list, that is central, union list, state list and concurrent list. We will see now one by one. The state list has subjects like, state list में क्या क्या है? Subjects like education and health, then which would be taken care of principally by the state. So providing the education as well as the health of that particular state is the responsibility of the state government. It is not the responsibility of the union government. Now let's see the concurrent list. What says? It comprises of forests, agriculture, etc., in which the center and the state would have joint responsibility. So forest, it belongs to the it is considered to be a national property. Agriculture, so these are the areas which has to be managed jointly by the center as well as by the state. And Hindi is now designated as the official language of India, and English to be used in the courts. That is only in the courts and all English language. Otherwise, Hindi is a national language designated as official language, not national language. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the chairman of the drafting committee, under whose supervision the document was finalized, played an important role in framing the Indian Constitution. So before that, prior to that, so a draft was prepared, and finally on 26 January 1950, the actual Constitution came into force. How were the states to be formed? Now the first problem, as we said, we have to manage the princely state. It was also one of the big problem. So how were states to be formed? इस states को कैसे form किया जाता है और form किया जाएगा? Earlier it was ruled by the princes. So they belong to their kingdom. Mysore में, जैसे कर्नाटका state, it was being ruled by the Odairs of Mysore. So like that, Gujarat में है princely state, Kashmir and so on. 572 princely states. The states, it was not designated as state, it was designated as the areas or the provinces managed by the princes. So in 1920s, the Indian National Congress promised that after independence, each linguistic group will have its own province. So it has given a province, okay? Every language speaking province will have their own state. The partition made the leaders fear, partition of Bengal in 1905, fear that any such move that would further lead to the country's disintegration. They thought that the partition of Bengal, it has made a wide gap between the Muslims as well as the Hindus. So if there would be any, or I can say such move, like the making of states on the basis of the languages they speak, it will lead into the disintegration. That means opposite to unity. Prime Minister Nehru and Deputy Prime Minister Vallabhbhai Patel were against the creation of linguistic states. Okay, they were against. A veteran Gandhian named Potti Sri Ramalu, Sri MALU है उसमें शायद से, went on strike, hunger strike, satyagraha, उपवास सत्याग्रह, demanding the formation of Andhra Pradesh to protect the interest of Telugu speaking people. So he said कि he went on Anna Satyagraha and demanding the formation of Telugu speaking state, that is Andhra Pradesh. होना चाहिए. So went on strike, hunger strike. Hartals and bands were organized to support this move. See, people supported him. After 58 days into his fast, Potti Sri Ramul, you can see the spelling here, correct, died. So 58 days without water or without any annakadan, resulting into the death of that great person. It led to the violence all over the state, and the central government was forced to accept the demand. Now they accepted the demand. Okay, there will be the formation of state on the basis of the language the people speak. The new state of Andhra Pradesh was scripted on 1st October 1953. This led to other linguistic groups to raise demands for their own state. Okay, if it is Andhra Pradesh is created, and why not others? And other states also started this type of what is called demands. State Recognition Commission was then in this way set up. State Recognition Committee or Commission. In its report submitted on 1956, it recommended that the creation of Assamese, where the people, that is the language Assamese, then Bengali, that is Bengal, Oriya is Orissa, then Tamil, that is Tamil Nadu, Malayalam, Kerala, Kannada, Karnataka, and Telugu speaking provinces respectively. These are the major languages spoken in those days and demanding their own state. And the commission gives its report that these are all the languages spoken by the people of this area, and it has to be now recognized as a state. The Hindi speaking regions of North India were also broken into several states. Yes, North India probably 90% is being spoken by Hindi language only. Maybe there is again you can say variation like Awadhi or Bhojpuri like that, but majority Hindi. The bilingual means two languages. That is, state of Bombay was divided into separate states of Marathi and Gujarati speaker. Earlier it was one state, Marathi as well as Gujarati speaking people were in one particular frame. Now since Gujarati एंड मराठी, इसलिए तो मराठी लोगों के लिए भी थोड़ा थोड़ा गुजराती आता है, गुजराती के लिए भी मराठी आता है, इस पहले बाई लैंग्वेजल उनको भी डिवाइड किया. Punjab was also divided into Punjab and Haryana. In this way you can frame that the princely states were now formed into different states. Now next movement is planning for development. Lifting India and Indians out of poverty and building a modern technical and industrial base was among the major objectives to be achieved. We have already discussed in the you can say your civics chapter also. The planning commission was set up in the year 1950. Various planning commissions, various 5-year plans were launched, isn't it? Accordingly, 13th 5-year plan is going on right now. So that is what, in order to lift India, now it is completely under the control of Indian government. Earlier we were being ruled by the Britishers, now by the Indians. So many challenges, objectives to reach, and that is the India, that so many objectives were there. So Planning Commission was set up in the year 1950 to help design and execute suitable policies for the economic development. Mixed economy model to be followed. where both public and private sectors would coexist for the economic development of the nation. Neither entirely public sector nor entirely private sector. It is a mixed economy wherein public sector plus private sector मिलके काम करेंगे या they coexist, okay, and run the nation. That is what happening in India. India is a mixed economy, not neither a complete public sector or not. Everything is not under the control of the government, and some, or I can say, sectors are being managed by the private sectors too, or private management. Then second 5-year plan was formulated with the focus mainly on the development of heavy industries. As we discussed in history chapter, first 5-year plan, the entire concentration was given to agriculture. So that was launched in the year 1951 to 56. So second 5-year plan, entire concentration was given to the heavy industries in India, such as steel, and on the building of large dams, and thereby providing, that is called hydroelectricity. There were arguments that the second plan neglected agriculture and primary education. That was the argument or the opinion of the people. So you can see on the other side the timing of the 5-year plan starting from 1951 to 56, 56 to 61, and third plan 61 to 66. यहाँ से अच्छा गया. और फोर्थ प्लान आप देखेंगे 3 annual plans. वहाँ पर 5-year plan नहीं हुआ, हर साल एक प्लान हुआ. That is in the 1966, 67, 68 और 66 से 69 के बीच में 5-year plan नहीं हुआ, yearly plan हुआ. बिकॉज देर वॉज चेंज ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, वहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट में चेंज बदलाव आया इसके लिए. एंड फॉलोड बाय 4th, 5th वापस प्रॉब्लम होता है, देन 6th, 7th वापस नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम होता है, फिर 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. यहाँ पर 11th में ख़त्म होता है और उसके बाद इट्स 12th and 13th is going on, isn't it? Now everything is set. अभी हम देखेंगे एकदम नेक्स्ट वाला, द नेशन 60 years on. इट शुड बी नेशन कितना इंडिपेंडेंस होके 1947 होगा, 75 होना चाहिए. 75 years on. ये बुक या कंटेंट जो भी है 15 years पुराना है, तो अभी काफ़ी सारे नए इंक्लूजन होना चाहिए. सो एवरीथिंग हम 15 साल पहले किया था वो बताएंगे, अभी 60 years तक ही बताएंगे. अब तो 75 years हो गए. India celebrated 60 years according to 2007. India is still united and democratic with achievements to be proud of. Yes, negative speculations made by foreign observers have failed. Yes, their thinking was ये नहीं होगा, that was failed. Then unity in diversity is intact as it is है, and free press and an independent judiciary prevail. Yes, freedom of speech is there, then independent of judiciary, everything is there intact. No doubt there are areas which need to be worked to uproot deep divisions too. Despite constitutional guarantees, the untouchables or the Dalits faced violence and discrimination. There were clashes between different religious groups in many states. Yes, and the gulf, means the bridge between the rich and the poor, is widened over these years. Rich remain rich and the poor remain as poor only. So this is lot more topics to be seen, or you can say you have to go through that textbook for that. Rest of the things we will see in Zoom class, and I hope you have understood the chapter in nutshell. See you more in Zoom class. In the meantime, take care, bye bye, and have a nice time. And stay home, stay safe.